Phobias and anxiety remedies to deal with them. A phobia is an intense, irrational fear associated to a particular trigger or stimulus. Now, this is an example of a fear-based problem that has one of the easier anxiety remedies to deal with it. You simply need to break the neurological link of the stimulus to the emotional response. Seeing a spider and feeling intense fear is the link. Breaking down that connection and the strategy employed to drive it is all that needs to be done to disengage the fear. The principle of phobias is actually a fabulous and resourceful thing when you think about it and understand exactly what we're seeing in action. Phobias do actually demonstrate to us the power of the human neurology. It's an example of a one-time learning. A person with no study, didn't go to university, no wisdom, learning or practice, creates a complex association that constantly drives a specific behaviour. And they never forget to do it. I find it difficult to remember the day the bins go out. But no matter how distracted or busy a person is, when the stimulus is present, they will physiologically respond in the exact same pre-patterned way. Now that's amazing. Imagine tapping into that skill and applying it to all of the positive feelings and behaviours that you want. Focus in on a resourceful behaviour, anchor in stimulus, and thereafter do it that way every time. Now that would be amazing. Now, phobias are classed as an anxiety disorder, therefore are responsive to all anxiety remedies. The difference to other anxiety problems is that people can happily live with a phobia and it not really be a problem. And that's dependent on the phobia, of course. If someone suffers, say, from electrophobia, which is a fear of chickens, elector is the Greek for rooster, and phobos, which is the Greek word for fear. Then, if they live in downtown Manhattan and rarely leave the city other than to go to the beach, then they could easily live with their phobia with no real impact on their day-to-day life. No real need for any anxiety remedies or complex emotional therapy work there. But if someone suffers badly from agoraphobia, again derived from the ancient Greek of agora, meaning an assembly of people or place where lots of people assemble, then this could stop them going out of the house and severely limit the experiences that they can have. This is definitely a problem that will require some anxiety remedies to be applied. So, what is the best treatment for anxiety when it's phobia-based? Now, this is going to be dependent on the severity of the phobia and to a certain degree the type of phobia. Will it be dealt with as a severe anxiety attack treatment or as a pure panic attack treatment or any and all stages in between? Now, my recommendation is the process should include an element of detail around what it is and how it impacts the individual. Also, how is it a problem? How do they do it? How does it manifest itself? Once this is understood fully, then a process of loosening up the belief in the reality of it will be required. Now, this is best done through linguistic confusion techniques taken from NLP. And then you would want to list and scramble each component step of how the strategy for doing the phobia runs. And then we want to let go of fear from the past, all the way back to the very first experience for fear, not the phobia. I would use my own source pattern reset therapy model for this. And then finally, in the person's imagination, you would look to change the submodalities, i.e. qualities, of the picture that is representative of the anchored root of the phobia, the first event for the phobia, thus taking away the sense of reality from it, which will disengage the emotional connection to it. The phobia will now be gone. Now, this often happens so subliminally and at the unconscious level. They may initially not totally realise that the phobia is completely gone. I'll share with you a couple of experiences out of the hundreds that I've had. One client who had had a spider phobia was talking to a group over a year later, and they shared with the group that they had worked with me to help them get over the spider phobia. Then they actually said that they were not sure whether it had worked or not. When asked to explain this, they said it was because they hadn't seen a spider to taste it. This was wonderful feedback for me. They had changed so completely that they no longer had any awareness of spiders at all, in a complete year. Proof indeed that the phobia was now gone. Another client finished working with me, and again, this just happened to be for spiders also, and they were not convinced that there had been any effect. He even at one point tried to say the problem was worse. They then phoned me 2 days later to apologise, and to let me know that they'd just experienced something quite startling. They'd been brushing their teeth, and a spider came down beside them on a strand of web. And then before they knew it, they had automatically stopped brushing their teeth, cupped the spider in their hands, and gone over to the window to throw it outside. And it was only at that point that they suddenly had a conscious awareness of what they were actually doing. The phobia was completely gone, and they were now doing a natural new positive behaviour automatically. Now that's marvellous. Anxiety remedies for phobias are easy. Make sure you take action to get beyond yours now.